probably going to have the opportunity, or at least the conversation with the Nigerian team about potentially playing for them this summer. Is that something that has anyone reached out to you about that yet? And the chance to play for them in Tokyo, what would that mean to you if it came your way?
I've been spoken to about playing on the Nigerian national team in Tokyo this summer, and that's something that I think is a big opportunity on the biggest stages when it comes to playing, sports, every sports in general, just being able to represent my country in one of the biggest stages there is, and I think it'd be a great opportunity.
Are you anywhere kind of near a decision on that, or what will go into that decision?
I mean, right now it's just weighing my options right now, slowly taking things into consideration. The season just ended. I don't think it starts until July, I believe. So right now, I have time on my hand to kind of just weigh my options and see where I go from there.
Have you ever, just one more for me, I apologize. You play this game for, in college, you play for national championships. Here you play for an NBA title. Like, I get the goal, but has the Olympics ever been one of your goals? Have you ever thought about, what that would mean to play on that stage?
Yeah, like I said, it's arguably the biggest stage when it comes to sports in general, the Olympics. And just playing on that stage, representing, wherever you're from, whatever country it is, it's big. It's a huge honor. Just being able to play there. It's something that I don't think anyone would really think twice about. Given the circumstances right now. Right now is a different time that we in. With COVID and everything going on. So we have more in our hands than we usually would. That's why I said I'm gonna look, take it into consideration and look at the options that I have before making a final decision.
Well, if there are an Olympics, I'll be there, and if there aren't Olympics, I hope to see you there. So thanks again. Have a good summer.
Thank you.
And next we go to Cooper Moorhead.
Hey, Precious. Obviously, your minutes were up and down this year in what was a strange year for just about everybody involved in the league. What was, from the minutes you did get on the court, what was your takeaway, now that you're able to reflect on it a little bit, and especially with regards to what you feel like you want to work on this summer?
The time I was on the court this year, for me, it was just understanding the game on the defensive side of the ball, just understanding reads, tendencies, and what teams are likely or players are likely to do. And for me, it's just just having a better understanding of the game, better IQ for the game, better feel for the game, especially on the defensive side of the ball game. And this summer, I just look forward to improving that overall part of my game, just getting better in everything that I do. Work on my entire game, especially my jump shot. That's going to be a big focus for me this summer.
Thank you.
Next we go to Anthony Cheng.
Hey, Precious. To kind of go with Tim's question, he was asking about the Olympics. I know it might conflict with, I guess, summer league if you do play, represent Nigeria in the Olympics. How much of the decision to go and do that, it comes down to whether you want to take the summer league route and kind of be in the player developmental program here, or obviously make the jump and represent your country?
I didn't get the question.
When you have to decide between summer league and the Olympics, what's that decision like? I mean, you obviously didn't get a summer league last year. You didn't get really a time in the player development program before, your rookie season. What do you think the benefit of going to summer league would be for you this year after not getting that experience last season?
I'm kind of confused. Are you asking about summer league, or are you asking about the player?
Yeah, summer league. Yeah, summer league.
I think it's a great opportunity. Like you said, I didn't get a summer league last year, and coming in, to the season, I was playing a lot, coming in early, and thanks to the coaching staff and everyone, my teammates, I was able to play through a lot of mistakes, and they allowed me to play through a lot of mistakes and stuff like that. And I think just playing, I think playing the summer league is gonna, help clear things up a little bit for me. Like I said, just get a better feel, understanding of the NBA game, the system, especially on the defensive side of the ball game. And so, right now, like I said, I'm weighing my options, see what I have, and I haven't made a decision yet. So.
And we don't know if Udonis will be back next season yet, but how helpful was it to have him around? I know you spoke about the influence he had on you just from day one this season. Just in what ways did he help you, and how much are you kind of pitching for him to return next season again?
I mean, he was really big, really big part of our team this year. Especially for me, I'm gonna talk personally. He was really big, always in my ear, always saying the right things, just always positive, just motivational things that, like he's not just saying things that he hasn't done, he's saying things that he's done and he's seen, countless times, and he's trying to pass that along to guys like myself, other younger guys. And, I really appreciate everything. And, it's always great to have someone like that on the team. For me as a young guy, there's people like that you look up to, you're able to, always pick up one or two things from.
Thank you, Precious.
Next, we go to Ira Winderman.
Hey, Precious. I know Coach Spo preaches positionless basketball, but it seemed early in the season you were just coming in when you were in the rotation at center for Bam. But clearly at Memphis, you showed some power forward skills. I'm just curious, when you consider a potential role to settle into in this league, is it a matter of working on beefing up and banging in the middle as a center? Is it a matter of working to take your game maybe out to the three-point line? In other words, which area do you feel that you might be able to make the quickest growth jump if you prioritize that area? Thank you.
I mean, I think it just comes down to overall advancement of my game. I believe in positionless basketball as well. I think that's the direction the game is evolving to is lately. And for me, basketball is a game of matchups. Just being able to take whatever matchup that you want on the other team and exploit it. And whether it's banging inside or extending to the 3-point line, or whatever the case may be, or taking someone up the dribble or whatever. It's just all about matchups right now. If you look across the league, it's all about matchups. Who's guarding who do you want to go at? Who's coming up to set the screen to create a certain matchup? And, positionless basketball, like I said, just it's the biggest asset right now in the NBA. And, it's what everyone is looking for. Positionless players that are able to do, different things, versatile on offense, defense, guard multiple positions, switch out ball screens, guard bigs, block shots, cause deflections, steals, and all that kind of stuff. And also the offensive side, it's a really huge asset in the NBA right now.
Thanks, Precious. Good luck.
Next, we go to Barry Jackson.
Hi, Precious. You ended up playing 13 minutes alongside Bam this year, and Spo, of course, likes having, at least one big, who can shoot threes at a high level for spacing issues. So is that something you'd like to emphasize this summer to improve on your three-point shooting? Have you and Spo or Pat Riley discussed that?
I mean, for me, this summer is just, like I said, my overall game, looking to expand my overall game. And of course, my jump shot is going to be a big emphasis on my development this summer. I'm gonna put a lot of time into it, and just coming back and try to shoot the ball at a higher and better clip.
Thank you.
Next, we go to Shannon Irish.
Precious, I was wondering what your thoughts are with the Heat fans this year. Obviously, it was a little different for you joining the team and, starting fanless. And then by the end, you guys had 17,000 fans. What kind of love did you feel from the fan base? And what are you looking forward to next season, seeing them?
I mean, it was amazing. Being able to have 17,000 people in the stands. Last time I had that was in college. We used to have 20,000, and it was just, it felt so amazing. Just being in an arena with so many people cheering. That's the life of the game right there. You know, the chants, the cheering, the booing, or whatever the case may be. You know, and that just brings so much life to the game, man. You know, that's one of the things. That's one of the reasons we play. You know, for moments like that, just being, you know, on the spot where you got to show, you know, what you got.
Thank you.
All right, next we go to Brady Hawk.
Hey, Precious. You touched on UD as a leader, but Bam seemed to take you under his wing a bit after you got drafted. Just what do you feel is the biggest thing you learned from him specifically throughout your rookie season?
Just being mentally tough. You know, I watched him. He had really high games, and it was games where, you know, he didn't do it to our expectation. He didn't put this up to our expectation, but he always stayed mentally tough. You know, he come back the next day, and you know, he just kept going and just kept going. And you know, just that was one of the things I got from him. You know, just staying mentally tough and just always ready to go no matter what the situation is. And he's a great teammate. You know, he's always looking to get everybody involved, and that's something you don't find, you know, very often, especially in this league.
Max, obviously a two-way contract is a nice way to start. This is probably the best year ever to be a two-way player with the way the salaries and the extra days and the playoffs worked out. But obviously I know being a roster player is a lot more security and everything like that. When you look at your game, what did you think you showed the NBA that you could do as a full-time roster player? And what would you like to work on this summer to enhance your chances of becoming a full-time roster player?
I think I just showed that I could play at this level, and I'm able to defend and defend multiple positions and you know, help the team out offensively. Obviously with my shooting ability, and then but I honestly didn't even shoot it that well this year, and got to be more consistent. I'd say that's the thing I really got to work on this summer is you know, being a more consistent shooter, and that comes along with playing more minutes and more consistent minutes as well. So I'm not too worried about that, but I think I've showed that I can put the ball in the basket, not just as a shooter as well. I'm capable of doing other things, and you know, played meaningful minutes this year, and looking to build off that and go into the next year.
You're sort of in that middle area, gray area when it comes to summer league of guys who've been through the process and maybe a little older. But on the other hand, there's also an opportunity for the first summer league in 2 years. What are your thoughts on summer league? Has that been broached with the Heat? And where do you think you'll sort of handle that in August?
Yeah, I mean, I have no idea what's going to happen yet. There hasn't been any talks of that going on. I mean, I love to play basketball, so if that's what we're going to do, then that's what we're going to do. I'm not afraid to play or compete. So if that's something that we talk about doing, then we'll probably do it. But you know, we'll see when the time comes.
Thank you.
Next we go to Cooper Moorhead.
Hey Max, we've seen for years here in the development program that, you know, the Heat are never really satisfied with the guy being a good shooter, and they always try and push their good shooters to be more dynamic in one way or the other. So when you say you want to, you know, become a better and more consistent shooter, what do you think that looks like on the court? What kind of, you know, actions on the court specifically do you want to get better at to become a more dynamic, you know, 3-point shooter?
For me, I think you just look at Duncan. I think I can be like him, and you know, he shoots 40% from three. So you know, just getting the reps up like that, and you know, coming off screens, coming off pin downs, handoffs, you know, coming off ball screens. It's just being able to shoot at off of any action, and you know, just adding everything to my arsenal.
Hey, thank you. Have a good offseason.
Thank you.
Next we go to Shannon Irish with Heat TV.
Hi, Max. You've been with the team through one of the most interesting seasons that's ever happened. You had no fans to start the season. Then you had a ton of fans to end the season. How much did you feel Heat Nation and the fan base really embrace you guys through everything, whether it was from home or, you know, possibly at games at the end of the season?
Yeah, I think Miami's got some of the best fans in the world. When I first got here, I like walked around outside and people knew who I was. You know, I was like, you know, a guy that hasn't really played here at all, doesn't really play that much, and people love the Miami Heat here. So that was a pretty cool experience for me, and Just hopefully we can be more successful in the future. And, just the fans have been awesome. And that last game, these last couple games with 17,000 was something special. I mean, obviously going from like no fans to 17,000 was kind of crazy, and it felt like it was the loudest thing I've ever been in. But they supported us the whole time, and it was great to have them out there.
Thank you.
Next, we go to Anthony Chang.
Hey, Max, you've spoken about just kind of how much you've improved as a defender in the Heats program. What specific areas do you think you've improved on that end of the court over the past year? And what is it about, this team's program that seems to get the most out of players on that end of the court?
It's just a level of competition. We just compete every day, and if you do it every day, you're going to get better. So it's really just the reps and learning along the way of just little things. And everybody in the NBA kind of runs the same plays offensively. So just learning the system, learning the reads, and like I said, just building the reps and building habits.
Thank you, Max.
Next, we go to Christos Saltas.
Hey, Max, hope you're doing well. What was the most special part for you to be a Heat this season, and what did you learn from your teammates and Coach Spo?
Oh, I learned a lot. It was very special to be a part of this team. They accepted me from day one, and I couldn't ask for anything else. I mean, great teammates, great coaching staff. The whole environment here is awesome. It's a family environment. They really take care of their own. Our older guys are great veterans to have around, and guys like Andre and Jimmy and Udonis, and you just learn so much from these guys, and just how to be a professional and just go about your business.